Well, hello everybody. Hello. It's another Sunday and I know it's hot. It's hot in the UK. So don't complain. Don't complain, right? We are here today. I've just decided I'm just gonna ask my friends to join me, and I've got three lovely ladies today, three of them. So you've got good choice. So I'm gonna do it in speaker's view because every week I get told off. I get told off that I haven't done it in speaker's view. Okay. So let me introduce my guest. I'm quite excited. I'm talking about the power of positive thinking. And why am I talking about the power of positive thinking? I ask myself. It's because I am so sick and tired of when I go on Facebook and I can see all these people that put out negative things. Don't do this, don't do that. And I'm thinking, could you not just tell people what would be a nice thing to do? Everything that you read and everything you talk about actually affects the environment, it affects you, and it affects the environment around you. So rather than stay on my soapbox, let me introduce my guests one by one. And I'm going to start. Well, first of all, they will talk about themselves. They will tell you about themselves because they're awesome. They've got good CVs. I like it when my guests have good CVs because I'm learning from them. That's why I do this show. It's not just all about me. It's about me learning and me sharing what I'm learning with you at the same time. So let me first go to Leonie Campbell because she was the first person that I spoke to. She was the number one. She said yes first. So Leonie, tell everybody about yourself and what you do, what you're about.
Well, my name's Leone, everyone. Good afternoon in sunny England. I'm a psychologist and I run my own company called Psychology for Success. And the reason why I called it that is because I believe that, when people come to see me, that they're looking for hope. The moment that you did make that phone call or you decide that you're going to actually speak to me about whatever it might be, even if it's that it's a family law problem or you want therapy, that you're actually making that decision that you need help. So, and I feel that that's a really positive step and sometimes the hardest step. So I'm really pleased to be part of that journey for people. I basically run a company that provides psychological experts for whatever you might need them for. So if that might be for autism assessment, if that might be to appear in courts, in tribunals, basically we provide psychologists who are specialists in all areas to basically meet the needs of the public and organisations. And I also work as a psychological expert and take on loads of clients for therapy. Through this lockdown, I have been running lots of workshops, independent ones as well as ones within organisations for staff, in order to support them to maintain positive outlook on the whole lockdown situation and to improve and maintain their well-being. So that's what I've been doing, and that's a little bit about me.
Well, you straight away I'm getting these messages saying you all look lovely, lovely colours. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
So if you see me looking down here, it's not because I'm being rude and reading my personal messages, it's the messages to you guys as well. Thank you, Leonie, for that. And I'm glad that you could join us today. Next, I'm going to go to Daniela. Daniela. I'm not calling her Danielle like I normally do because she told people off on Facebook for calling her the wrong name. And so I thought, oh my God, she's talking about me because I just give people my own names. But just for today, I hope you know that. Daniela, I'm calling you by the right name. Tell people about you and why you're here today. Daniela?
Take yourself off mute, Daniela.
Oh, so I think you've never called me Danielle, have you, Sherry? I've never noticed before after all these years.
Danielle.
Well, you're my auntie Sherry, so I let you off. Yeah. Okay, cool. I've only just realised that. So my name is Daniela Blackmar. I'm an author, book journey mentor, founder of a company called Conscious Strings Publishing. We work with authors from all over the world to help them to get their powerful messages and stories out there in the form of professional books. behind me on this bookshelf. I was just
yeah, look at all those books. I'd love to live in your house.
They are just some of the 80 plus books that we've published over the last 4 years. We've also mentored 190 plus authors, helping them to develop their skill set in not just writing and publishing, but marketing, social media, branding, public speaking, and most importantly, confidence. I'm absolutely passionate about offering a platform for unseen, unheard authors so they can have their voices shared and stories heard in a space that's empowering. Over lockdown, I was, as you know, Sherry, isolating by myself in SC27, as you do. I lost 2 jobs in one day, and it kind of looked quite bleak at the beginning, but I'm glad that you invited me to be part of this, because I'm very much a believer of the thoughts that we feed ourselves or what manifests into the physical. So I decided I was going to completely revolutionize how I do things. I made lots of changes to my business, had to sort out a lot of stuff, but during that time I published my own book after 4 years, Lockdown Life. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I was like, when I saw that, I thought, oh my God, she's been writing in all this time. Jeez, but you write fast, you're very good. But so you know how to write, because obviously you deal with authors, and you've got 2 books, as you said, before that. So thank you for doing that. We'll talk about that in a little while, and I hope you'll read at least an extract from that.
Yay.
And then last but not least, because I'm the last one, Tendai. Did I say that right, Tendai?
Tendai, yeah.
Tendai, yes, okay. The teeth are getting in the way. I'll put them in the right way next time. Tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
Hi guys, so my name is Tendai Chagweda from, I've got founded a company called Quest for Success. So I teach people how to transform their visions to reality. I've also got a business called Inspiring DJs, where I inspire people to actively take up DJing. So I work with children and adults, teaching them how to DJ. So I've just basically combined the things that I love doing, my zone of geniuses, music and positive thinking, to do them as my full-time jobs. So I teach people in offices that I've manifested in the Shard and 50 other locations within London. So I do one-on-one workshops and online teaching people how to create vision boards. For those of you that don't know what vision boards are, they are collages. Let's see if I've got an example. Actually, they are collages of words and images of things that you want to be, do and have. So many organizations have been hiring me of late, so they're working with employees. Well-being is, as we all know, really high on the agenda. And yes, I'm working with organizations now, whereby I'm now able to help groups of people to have positive thinking with regards to personal and professional goals. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's what I do.
And can you show, if you have one,
Yes.
what a collage looks like? Because you know, I know, but not everybody does.
Okay, I've just got to locate one then. Bear with me.
I like the waterfall.
Oh, thank you.
Lovely.
That's my Zoom background, because my Zoom doesn't seem to work. My background doesn't seem to work, and that's a picture of Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe. That's where I was on.
I walked over the falls. I prayed all the way as I walked over that fall. It was the mist. When you're walking through, you cannot see where you're going. Right. You can see the sort of bridge, you can see the ropes, but it's a very long walk. So yeah.
Yeah,
okay, should I show us what you?
Sure. So this is a color. This is a digital vision board. So you've got physical vision boards and digital vision boards. Digital ones that are made on Canva or PowerPoint, or any kind of photo app you like. And that is a copy of mine all the way up. It's really, really detailed. So basically I've got a framework where we look at 5 different things, ranging from purpose, and then I set a breakthrough goal, and then we look at 8 key life areas ranging from health to wealth. So we've got sections including passions, charity, home, love, relationships, because it's different to love, so the kind of people that you want to manifest in your life, mentors, coaches, etc., friends. So yeah, there's 8 key life areas on that. That's why it looks so detailed. So I'm manifesting it in records time using that framework. So yeah, that's what I work with companies and
I'm
individuals.
going to come back to you, and then you can do a little bit and tell
Perfect.
people what they're going to do. So I'm coming back to you, Leonie. Leonie, why is it important for us to think positively? Why is it important to add that flavor into your life?
I think, especially at the moment, I think it's very important because, you know, I always say to my clients, you know, that the mind is the most powerful liar. Yeah. It will believe whatever you tell it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't tell it positive things, it will believe the negative things. If you tell it negative things, it will believe that. If you tell it positive things, it will believe that. And so we have to believe in ourselves, because if we keep telling ourselves negative things, it's gonna lower our self-esteem. It's gonna not make us feel confident at a time like this where there are so many changes, and you know, people are losing jobs, people are having to adjust to different ways of working, how to manage their family with work, having to think about finances. There's so many things that are happening and changing all the time. And if you're not positive in a situation like, you know, what's happening at the moment, then sometimes, you know, it's all we've got. And I think that, you know, this is what makes it very important. There are a lot of things that are unstable at the moment. And when things are unstable, it's very easy for people to become anxious and start to worry about things. But if you can have a positive mindset and think about what can happen and what can improve and what you are in control of, then that reduces levels of worry. And I think this is the reason why we need a positive mindset, because sometimes it's all we've got when things are really difficult, as they are at the moment. Yeah. And
it is not just about thinking positively, it's doing positively as well.
I agree. And I think that there's something about changing your mindset and the way that you perceive your actions. Okay, for me, that's really important. I think that, you know, we have to accept that things are changing. Things have changed. For, you know, in the UK, a lot of things have changed around the way that people work, the things that we're allowed to do. And so the one thing you need to do is to calibrate yourself with what is happening around you and judge yourself by the standards of now and not the standards of yesterday. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that, you know, what leads to a negative mindset is convincing yourself that you can't do things because you're thinking about the way that things were done before, right? We are, you know, the things that were very easy, you know, in the new normal, in the old world, are no longer easy. And so we need to be kind to ourselves and accept that actually we've achieved something, rather than thinking about the fact that maybe we could have done it twice as quickly, you know, last month, or when things were not like this, that, you know, we could be more flexible. You know, we're in a space now where things have changed, and you have to accept what you can do in this space and stop judging yourself on what you can't do and what you could do in the old world or in the way that things were before. So, you know, you have to tell yourself, you know, the first step, I think, of kind of creating this positive mindset is allowing yourself to believe that you are enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
You are enough. And I think that it's very easy to think about all the things that we haven't done, all the things that, you know, weren't done properly to our standard, you know. But actually, if you look at the journey behind us, sometimes you have to take stock of actually what's gone well and give yourself a pat on the back. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself some gratitude. Even if you have to get up every day and find 3 things that you're grateful for every day. And I always say to my clients, don't just put the 3 things in there and then move on, and the next day. In a month, I want you to look back at day 1. I want you to look at all the things you've been grateful for the last month. And this is what I mean about look at the journey behind you, because sometimes we forget about the things that we've achieved or the things that are going on around us. And these are the things that encourage us and motivate us and keep us going. So I think that this kind of links to having a positive mindset when you've got evidence, you know. because I think, you know, the mind likes to convince us that we've got nothing to be positive for, that there's nothing good's happened in our life. And so, you know, by doing the gratitude and checking back on them, not just looking at what's happening now, but the things you've been grateful for in the past, is a way of reminding the mind that actually, you know, I've got a lot to be positive for. I've got a lot to be grateful for. And, you know, this also links to being kind to ourselves, because we are now, you know, it seems like we're in and out of isolation. You know, we're not sure in England at the moment, but, you know, we've now gone down to this issue of, you know, only 6 allowed in groups, and we don't know where it's going to go next. But the one person now that we are left with at the end of the day is ourselves. We can no longer reach out as we could before to a lot of external, you know, parties, say we're going to go out to a party or do particular things. We don't always have those activities available to us now because of the situation that we're in. So we need to learn to love ourselves and know ourselves, because at the end of the day, that's where the only person that we've got right now is us. It's not like before
Yeah, that you can guarantee.
Yeah.
I like that, Leonie. Thank you so much. Daniela.
Hello.
I'm not used to saying that word, Daniela. you know, in a half an hour I'll say that. So you've written this book about lockdown. Tell me what the book, what did you say in the book? Because when you were writing the book, you were in lockdown, but now you're sort of almost out of lockdown, I think. Or are you guys out?
Out.
Well, we were out, but we're going back in again, ish.
Pretty much. Yeah, I still consider this lockdown, to be fair. I think what we're experiencing now is like an ease. It's like a false pretense, and, you know, enjoy it when you can. Do what you have to do, be sensible. But the whole season is lockdown for me. So this book, Lockdown Life, like I said in the beginning, it was really tough because obviously I'm working on my business full time. That's the main thing that I do. However, I am a teacher, so I work in schools. And I was working 3 days a week in a school. I also run workshops in school, financial education workshops in schools. And on the same day, I was told, right, schools are going to be closing on Fridays. We need to tell the kids, by the way, your last day is today. On top of that, I had email after email after email with cancellations of all the jobs that I'd had over the next few months in schools. And that is what allows me to, you know, keep a roof over my head. So I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to allow myself, not be hard on myself, like Leonie says, I'm going to allow myself to feel what I need to feel, to grieve and to not be panicked, but to feel that the doubt and the uncertainty. And so a lot of rum and coke was involved. And I gave myself
yeah, that's my girl.
You know, a bit of music. But I gave myself till Monday. It's like, I think it's from Wednesday to Monday. Then Monday I strategically wrote out, right, I need to get my head around, you know, what the government's offering in terms of finances, what I need to freeze. So once I've kind of written out my strategy and I knew what I was doing and I knew how I was going to tackle it, I felt more in control. Once I felt more in control, I realized I'm not going to stress about this. And to be honest,
Sorry, Danielle.
I part buy, part rent, so I had to freeze my mortgage as one of these people. I had to freeze my mortgage and sort out a lot of things. But once I managed to do that, I kind of eased into it, and I actually started to really enjoy lockdown because I had rid myself from the burden of having to pay for my house. And as silly as that feels, it was that financial stress that was causing that anxiety and the stress. So it wasn't necessarily, you know, all the fear and everything outside that was going on. It's how am I going to live day by day? And also the fact that there's so many people in my position, always kind of forms a kind of network of people who are self-employed, you know, giving each other support and informing each other about what we can do. And it gave me a real sense of community, not just amongst self-employed, but also in social media to an extent, but also the community around me. And so from then, I think it was April, I started to write Lockdown Life. And Lockdown Life is a humorous but reflective snapshot of this unique period in time. I was going to say this will never happen again, but we don't know. But it's a very unique period of time that is very specific. It's never happened before in the history where the whole entire universe, you know, the Earth is in lockdown, literally. So I wanted to create something where the tagline is love, laughter and freedom amidst the pandemic. And I'm very much you know, a believer of duality. So where there is darkness, I knew people who passed away with COVID, but you know, how I keep going is I have to see the beauty in the struggle. We can't stay in the one. There's got to be, you can't have one without the other. So I wanted to find that love, laughter and freedom amidst the pandemic. Mental health is a huge thing for me in terms of building awareness. And sometimes we just need to have something that we can look at. So in the book, you've got it split up into 3 sections. So the first section looks at the different lockdown characters. So you've got like lockdown roadman, the man who thinks is an essential worker, standing outside, literally, especially where I live, standing outside Iceland trying to chirp you. And it's like, dude, do you not realise we're in the middle of a pandemic here? Like, why are you coming so close? Why are you talking through a mask? So I found great joy in these kinds of things. I'm very much an observer of people.
That's why you're on lockdown, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, well, I'm not a lockdown girl. Leave me alone there. So and then it looks at, you know, the different activities. So, you know, the rise of Zoom, revolutionising your business, sorting out your finances, self-care, going to the park. And the third section is a lot more reflective. It looks at how, because I'm very much about how can we learn and grow from an experience? Because there's a lot of beauty, I think, in this time. For me, I was able to not sit down and cook, but I was able to spend more time cooking and being mindful about what I'm eating. You know, I'm not eating a patty on the way from A to B, you know. So I had more time to really think about my health. I pushed myself very hard. You know, when I'd work at the school, sometimes I'd rush home so I can do consultations from 4 till 8 o'clock. And then I'll be working on other things. And then the next day I've got to go to a school in East London and I come home and do the same. And so or I've got a book launch or an event. I was feeling really burnt out. And so the great thing about lockdown was that when I was working, I was able to really listen to my body a lot more and say, you're getting a migraine coming on, or, you know, you haven't actually eaten today, Dan. You know, close the laptop down. Nothing's gonna happen if you don't get this done. You know, you don't have to be anywhere. Close the laptop down and get into bed. I spent a whole day in bed once and I didn't feel guilty. And that links back to what Leonie said. That helps your mental health because you're not always pushing yourself. You're listening to yourself and actually putting yourself first and not feeling bad about it. So the third section is all about, you know, what we can learn and how we can learn and grow and what lockdown life lessons have we learned throughout this time.
I like that. And one of the things that you said, which resonated with me, and it didn't happen in lockdown. My lockdown came a year before when I moved to the Caribbean. And I think I resonate with you when you talk about always having to be busy. You've got the computer open and the iPad over there, and then you've got the phone. And I'm working as if I'm some television producer or something. And, you know, I'm doing all these things, taking all the calls. Hold on a second, answering the second phone. And we make ourselves so busy. We really go too far and not taking time out to eat on time. And I think it was when they said to me that I was diabetic just before I left. But I was like, how did that happen? What happened there? But what happened there is that I did it to myself. I actually did it to myself because being a magazine editor and all these other 3 jobs that I had, being a motivator, I put everybody first before myself. And I think lockdown made me, lockdown, even being in the Caribbean, meant that I had to stay indoors. I had to think about what I was eating. I would go to the market and get food. I would walk in the sun, not for long because it's very hot here. But the point is that I put some things in that list, which Leonie was talking about. And in that diary that I was writing in, I'd write the list. But as she says, sometimes you write a list and you really don't check back to see if you've done all the things on the list. But in this diary, I would have to tick the list and then move forward. What did I learn for the day? And at the end of every day, I had to write what am I grateful for? And what was I grateful for is the power of being alert, the power of being in the here and now. And if I can share that with anybody, it's that you have to train yourself a different way now that, and my friends hate me saying this new norm business, but it is what it is. It's right now. I'm not even sure what's normal and not, but right now I think that we need to train our minds to stop and think about ourselves a little bit more than we were doing before. So, in saying that, who can help you better than putting yourself out to find your journey than Tendai? Tendai, how can tell people how you can help them on this show to think about moving forward, how to make their collage, or the other word that you used, you know, the vision board, so that they have a strategic aim to see where they're going and what they want to achieve.
Hi again, guys. Tendai here. Yeah, fantastic talks from the previous ladies. I love what they both touched on. And as Sherry has said here, it is really important to know what you want to be doing in life. I saw some comments in the Facebook page and someone touched on the zone of genius. I think it's been a perfect time for people to recalibrate their thoughts and discover what they actually love doing. Well-being is very, very important. And during this lockdown, I love that Danny wrote a book. For me, I got really, really in touch with my creativity side, because that helps me become even more creative. So I skate a lot now. So I've always been an avid skater from a long time ago. Now people think, how do you put that together? What's that got to do with vision boards? On the vision boards that I spoke about, I said there's a framework and there are 8 key life areas that you can see here, ranging from health to wealth. One of the areas is passions, chill time, I call it as well. And on there, I had like some rollerblades on there. And I've got workshops that I do with people, and I've got groups, and I ask people just before lockdown, what do you enjoy doing? People forgot what they love doing. So when it came to lockdown, people wanted to get back to work because they forgot what they actually do love doing, right? So in the vision boards, it's important to look at your personal side of things and professional, and that they need to be equally yoked. They need to be equally balanced. You shouldn't be doing too much professional things and kind of like dismissing your personal life, or vice versa. Some people concentrate on their personal life and they forget what they want to do professionally, right? So in the vision board workshops, I get people to do personal development first and foremost, because it's important to remember what you love doing, what you want to do, and most importantly, what you're naturally good at. So I'll touch back again on the zone of genius. With regards to the zone of genius, I've got a matrix. I've got these workbooks that I share with people, teaching people the fundamentals of vision boarding, and as I said, the 5 frameworks. But with the zone of genius, it's important. I don't know if you can see. You've got zone of competence, zone of genius, excellent, incompetent, and competent. There are things that people do naturally, competently. Some people do it, some things excellently. But what's your zone of genius? What work do you do so you love doing it that it doesn't even seem like work? Which aspects of your work generate the highest ratio of positive results compared to the time that you spend doing it? So Danny touched on, Danny obviously loves writing. She loves writing. She's made it her profession. You know, she speaks about, you know, from a child, she always wanted to do it. So I get people to remember, what did you want to do as a child? And what I love in the workshops that I do, it's in stages. We do a beginner's workshop and then we do an advanced. So with vision boards, they're so powerful. You can manifest, as Leonie said at the very beginning, thoughts become things. You can manifest things into existence. If you're going to think about positive things, you will attract and manifest those things. If you're going to think about negative things, you will attract and manifest those things. So it's important for people to remember what they want to attract and to be very, very careful, because these vision boards are not a joke. You can manifest what you put on your boards, right? Sometimes like for like. The biggest manifestation for me was my Bitcoin. I put Bitcoin in the wealth area of my vision board on the 17th of August, 2017. And in Christmas, I manifested Bitcoin. I went to a Secret Santa thing. The last person had Bitcoin. And I knew it was mine because I'd got so clear with my vision board. So for each of the key life areas, you write at least one A4 page on what you want, one whole page on wealth, one whole page on health, one whole page at least minimum on all of these things before you even think to create the board. People need to remember personal development is actually a really fun thing to do. You know, we're developing ourselves.
Could you just read the things you've got on that paper?
Absolutely, yeah. So I've got 3 templates that people can download. I'm happy to share a link.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got here wealth and health. We've got here love and relationships, as I said, 2 different things. We've also got home, so what you want to manifest in the home area, career. You've also got chill time, and as I said, you've got community and charity, which is an interesting one because many people think, why have you got community and charity on there? And things to include in there are funding. So I've been funded over £10,000 by my local council to help people with regards to manifesting what they want in the DJ in my DJ business, you know. So it's really, really, you know, I really knuckled down on what do I want to do in my community? What can I do effortlessly? And I know that people think DJing is just a hobby. It actually can be a career for many people. I had a booking with one of my clients yesterday. He's getting £40 an hour. He's an 11-year-old boy, you know. So I'm teaching these young people and their mums that if your child has got a talent, or you, you know, you or your child have a talent, let's hone in on it. And this is how we make it happen. And he's now conducting children's birthday parties. You know, he was in a beautiful mansion in Dulwich.
And what a brilliant idea, though.
Yeah, absolutely. So I love working with kids specifically. So I work in schools as well. Kids have got this ability to dream and think big. That's what my workshops are called, dream and think big, because as adults, we kind of put these limits and restrictions. We're like, oh no, I'm too old to do that. Oh no, I wouldn't be able to do this. But with younger people, it's easier to open up their minds with regards to reminding them, what did you really want to do? Yes, you're doing geography for A levels. Why are you doing it? Oh, it's the only subject that I could think of, you know, for example. But then I get them to really, really find out what they want to be doing, what they want to be earning in their, you know, in their wealth area with regards to their career. And as I said, we do personal development first and foremost. And then for some of the most poignant things that you do want to manifest, we find images for those things. And subsequently, we end up with a vision board. But it is a process. And I warn people, don't just think you're going to create a vision board there and then, because you can manifest things that you don't realize you don't want, right? Because you've just slapped any image.
The power of attraction is vast.
Absolutely.
You really concentrate on it. I like that. I really like that. I like everything you guys have said, because everything that you said has manifested. Danny's done her book. She went from since young, and actually Danny reminds me of myself and I have a sister that Roxana, who basically likes reading as well. And it's really funny we're talking about books, because if we find books, we talk about it, you know, to each other or share things with each other. I have another sister called Sharon who basically really talks about the exuberance of understanding the law of attraction, all these quotes that she finds, she sends to me, understanding yourself. So it's the same thing. We're all talking about motivation. And so when you do the things that you love, you find people, you attract people that are similar to yourself. And people need to understand that. Leonie, is that true? The law of attraction basically is not just about paper. It's also about what you put out there into the universe.
It definitely is. And there is something about creating that positive intention, you know, and something I say to my clients, and I live by myself, is that, you know, when something is in your head, it's a thought and nobody knows about it as well. You're not going to achieve anything if it just stays in there. At the moment, the first step is to put it down on paper. And I think that, you know, Tendai's amazing vision board is probably a good way of doing that as well. You know, it's getting that out of your head and also to sharing your intention with others, because actually you then realize that sometimes people can support you with your intention. It becomes a reality when people are checking in on you and people are talking to you about it like it's real. So the minute it comes out of your head, it becomes something. And so, yeah, I do believe that.
Good. And, you know, let me read some of the comments on here, because I really like to say thank you. That's my thing. I love to say thank you, because nobody ever has to tune in every week. You know, they've got other things to do, but they're learning as well. So I'd like to say thank you again to Roxana Braithwaite, Beverly Braithwaite Chan, Jeanette Stewart. They're people that every week they come on. Also, Shirley McGreal, publisher. Are you still publishing? Shirley, I'm not sure, but she is or was the publisher. Shirley, I want to talk to you. I have to find you. Ivona Gordon, another specialist in the health and well-being world. She comes in every week, and she said, must get a copy of your book, Danny. Support, again, supporting each other. Stevie, thank you so much for tuning in every week. Hi, St. Kinley. Donna Smith is here. Angela Barrows is another health practitioner. She says, Daniela, what you're saying really, really resonates with me. Marcia Bacchus. Oh, Marcia was in hospital, so I'm hoping that she's out, but she's also watching here. We've got people that are saying, Angela Barrows says, i.e. self-care, not eating regularly, busying myself, lockdown forced me to slow down. Okay, of course, Danny says slowing down and listening to my body during this time has been the biggest lesson, and I think that's mine too. Well, obviously, if you go online, Danny can tell you how to get a copy of that, because obviously this is going to YouTube, so people just need to hear it. All the W's, Danny. Tiny curl, tiny something, URL.
I'll put it in.
It's in there anyway, but you can repeat it before you go. Angela Barra says, the here and now is all we have in this moment. Been loving Tendai skating videos, somebody said that. And basically, Vincent L. McCalla, we've got guys in here too, which is really nice, is looking. Jeanette says, I love the vision board concept, excellent. Loads of clap. You know, we've got D Young in here, how wonderful. D, okay, let me use this as an example. I have this idea that I want to have a big party. I don't know when, it might be in 2 years, 3 years. And there I was flicking through Facebook last night, obviously at that time when you've got nothing else better to do and there's no party to go and fling your foot. And up came about the second or third picture was these beautiful cupcakes in gold and black. And that's what I've written down in my diary. I want to have this party. Everybody's either got to wear gold or black, but I'm going to tell them it has to be gold and black, because otherwise they'll just wear black. I know what they're like. And then they just manifested was these cupcakes of gold and black. So I'm going to have a party. I might have to have two, one in Guyana and one in England, but whatever, I'm going to do it. Beverly, and obviously Dee Young is going to do it, because it was her cakes that I was looking at. Beverly Braithwaite Chan says, I knew this would be time well spent for me. I am revising my VB for sure. What's VB? I don't know. Vision board.
Vision board.
Yeah, I got lost there. Wendy Haynes says, I'm here. Hello. Beverly says, interestingly, I can find a Bible verse that supports what's being said. Amen. Welcome, Pauline Gales, Santaline. Basically, the people that are coming every week and their supporters are people. Find your people, is what I say. Find the person who will support you. Find the person that you can show off to. I really mean this, because when you are on a positive thinking mode, you should be allowed to say to somebody. I do this to my sisters. I'll say, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? It might be something that is like today. I've got two things that came in just before I started this show. One, to do an interview. Yes, I've done 500 interviews, but every one is important, right? And then I've got something where I'm the moderator for the Women and Girls Summit in October, to do with oh God, my brain's gone. But it's the Women and Girls Summit, and I'm the moderator for that. Hope I get my brain back by then. But these things are important. They are things to look forward. So now that Tendai's talked about the vision board, I could go to my vision board, mine's a virtual one, and I can see that it's manifested because I've focused on it. Daniela, is this something that you've done? I know you're chewing on something. Is this something that you've done, choosing the vision board?
Yeah, interesting enough, actually, I met Tendai because she came to, remember I was doing that workshop right at the beginning of back in 2015, and some of that involved vision boarding. And I met Tendai, and her energy was so electric and magnetic. I was like, this girl is like, she's on this, she's brilliant. And she created, so we were all doing the paper vision boards within the workshop. And she was doing a digital vision board. I was like, wow, what's this? And so I think from what I remember, when she comes back on, she can confirm that she had superimposed herself, I think it was, onto Oprah Winfrey's sofa. And I was like, this is great. She's taking it to another level. And it's just been amazing to see Tendai fly. I call her the manifesting queen. I've actually been to one of her workshops. I've got her book. I did leave the room to see if I could find it. But I've got her vision boarding book. It's brilliant. So I need to update my vision boards. And one thing that I've learned with vision boards is, she said something earlier, like, be careful about what you manifest. So this is a good 5 years ago. I created a vision board. I was like, well, what do I want? Right, partner, marriage. And so I put up, first of all, I bought these kind of wedding.
You're making me sweat. You're making me sweat, girl.
I bought these catalogues. I couldn't see none that looked like me. And that's a problem. I think it's important to find someone that resonates with your image, okay? Kind of get me thinking about, you know, the absence of our image, which is something I talk about in terms of publishing and how that makes you feel that sense of invisibility. But the other thing I realized was that I was getting things like, you know, wedding dress and wedding ring and all of this stuff, stuck it on my vision board. I went to Costa and the barrister proposed to me as a joke, obviously. You know what I mean? He's like, would she be my wife? I thought, okay, hold on a second. But my first instinct was to feel a bit angry about it. But then I thought, hold on a second. Going back to what Tendai says, I've asked for that. I put it on my vision board, but I haven't made my vision clear. I haven't thought about, actually, it's far more powerful to say, right, what kind of relationship do I want? How's that going to make me feel? I want, you know, a relationship that's going to make me feel supported and loved and part of a team. Yeah. So it wasn't about the wedding dress. It wasn't about the ring, because they're material things that someone could have come up to me and said, hey, would you like to model a wedding dress? That's not what I want. That's not what I'm asking for.
Getting and finding the person, because what people do is they think about the thing, you know, I want to get a house, but you haven't thought about when you get the house, what's inside, how does it make you feel? Is it cottagey? Do you want it to be homely, not just square boxes? There's so much that goes into that box, that square box. I'm going to go back to Leonie. I want you guys to tell people, give everybody one tip that has worked for you. I know Daniela's just said that, but I know she's got a lot more. Just one or two tips, if you got it, for things that have worked for you that you know definitely happens.
What, in terms of creating a positive mindset?
Yes.
I've ordered many things. Let's see what I can. So one of them is, well, I've already talked about my gratitude. So that's doing my gratitudes 3 times a day. I think at least three gratitudes, and especially make sure you do them on days when you feel like you haven't got anything to be grateful for, because you always have to find something. Okay. And also I give myself every every day I have a presence check, because I think that sometimes our minds get crazy with thinking about all the things that we need to do or all the things we haven't done yet. And I think that for me, once a day, I try and have a grounding exercise, and I just try and take stock of where I am, who I am, what room I'm in, 3 colors I can see, things that I can hear, because sometimes we need to bring ourselves back to the now. I think we spend a lot of time worrying about things in the future and beating ourselves up about things in the past. So I think those are my 2 things, is to make sure that we are, you know, we do something to make sure we're grateful every day. And that's linked to my thing called We Are Enough. And ground yourself every day. Try and make sure that at least for some moments in the day that you are in the present and that you are not lost in your future and your past. Because it's really easy to miss opportunities because you're not paying attention.
You're right.
Yeah, and then you don't have a great day, but you don't realize that you missed out on things that were happening around you that actually could have made you happy or smile, or maybe were part of your positive intentions and you missed it. So, you know, those are my 2 things, is, you know, gratitude and grounding exercise once a day.
Yeah. Gratitude and staying grounded. I like that, because everything that you said are things that I've worked on since I've come here, because I think we can forget that living in a fast-paced world. Everybody's always so busy. And one of the things that I think that most people are too busy, well, they're too busy. They can't find to talk. I'm too busy. I'm too busy. Oh, I'll send a text. Sometimes pick up the telephone and be in the real moment, especially for people who, you know, sometimes I just like to hear a voice. I'm sick and tired of sending the texts. Just say sometimes, like, maybe say, I want to talk to you about this, so that the person stays within that structure, because people call me because I live on my own. I tell them everything. Stay within the structure and talk about something. Sometimes I just pick up the phone and I speak to a friend. I did that with Donna Spence, who's you know, the comedian Donna Spence, and she's a friend. She sends me loads and loads of texts, and I picked up the phone, recorded a message yesterday, say, hey, when you're going to find time to talk? Because, you know, and I said it a little bit more rough than that, but, you know, find time to talk, because I want to hear your voice. I want to hear the laughter behind your voice. I want to hear the chuckle. I want to hear the anxiety, because maybe she's going through something that she can just 15 minutes, call me. Oh, she says, I never know what time is right. Well, call, and then you'll know what time is right. You know, your WhatsApp's free. And I know she won't mind me talking about this, because this is how I am with everybody. If I have you in my square, you're important to me. I'll tell you when I'm busy, but make time. Time. Skip Danny, and I'm coming to Tendai. Tendai, what's your 2 tips, hon?
Hi there. So for me, as I said, I'm big on personal and professional things. So I'll say one from both area. Find out what you're good at. Ask other people what your greatness is. So going back to that zone of genius, ask people, what do you think I'm good at doing? What do you think I'm naturally good at doing? You need to know your zone of genius, because that is going to take you to the next level with regards to, this is what I need to be doing naturally. So for me, 100% finding out what you're good at, either doing a SWOT analysis first. So, you know, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and tasks. So doing that. So personal development, I guess you could say, for me, that's number 1 tip. And as I said, on the professional and personal side, do things that you love doing. For me, I've been doing roller skating for throughout lockdown, when Boris said you've only allowed out 30 minutes a day to do exercise. We were skating, and it's just helped in so many ways, clearing your head, keeping fit, being amongst like-minded people. I've met the most amazing people through skating. So personally, it's finding out what you love doing outside of a professional and business manner. It could be cooking, Danny mentioned earlier. Yeah, it could be anything. For me, it's skating. I love cooking as well, but skating for me, absolutely adore it. So yeah, find out something fun to do. And also with regards to professional development, find out your zone of genius, what you're naturally good at. Ask other people and you'll find that they will tell you things that you took for granted.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Right. Yeah, I like that. But the one thing that I want to say is that just ask people who won't always tell you the negative first.
Okay.
Because you will find, obviously, I do motivation and mentoring and all the different things. And those are some of the things that people complain about. That people, when you ask their opinion, they'll always tell you the negative first, which can be sort of sometimes soul destroying. If we can find time to say, let's say I talk to my sisters more than I talk to anybody else. I have lots of friends, but you know, I'm more real with them. And if they were to ask me what you're good at, I know their strengths. I know, and I'll be pushing them in areas that they might be like, no, hold back. But I will always say, you're really good at this. You're good at motivating people. You're good at listening to people. And the other one, I might be like, come on, go to workshops where you can improve your motivational strength, because you have that power that you're not even recognizing. We really need to tell our friends and family the good things that they have. Gillian Beresford Bernard, thank you so much for joining us. I'm trying to see their messages. I know that you guys can see them too. Melanie, welcome. God, we've got some lovely people in here. Wendy Haynes, thank you very much for joining us. I know that it's not a good time for you. We have people in here who come every week, and Davinia Roberts is here too. Why am I loving this awesomeness? Let me just give you an example. When I started this thing, it's actually 21 weeks ago, speaking live. I used to be one of the ones that are going, I'm not doing that, because every time I see somebody, I'm looking at all the things that is wrong about what they're doing. You know, their nose. Oh God, I can see this. I can see their background. Daddy's laughing, but you know what I mean.
All the things that's wrong with them, their nose.
Yeah, all the things that were wrong with them before I could get on there. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Rather than looking at them and thinking, okay, when I do it, I'm not gonna hold the camera this way, and I'm not gonna do it that way. I don't want to see one video. I saw a man walking past with his food. Because she was probably doing it in the kitchen, and he was hungry and he just went and dished out his food. But so what? If you want to do what we are doing today, and there's so many people here in this room that are qualified in their own areas, and it's something you want to talk about, do it. Zoom is for everybody. Facebook Live is for everybody. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you cannot do something. The only person that can tell that is yourself. And even then you got to question yourself, like, why do I use the T on can? Because really we can all do something that we never thought we could do. And look at this, 21 weeks later. Danny, you were in the first show. That's why I brought it up. You were in the first show where we talked about the new norm. And look, 21 weeks later, the show has grown. We might only have 27 people in the room now, but I can guarantee, and I'll tell you, by the time tomorrow this time or later tonight, it'll be 1,000, 2,000. I think one of them is like nearly 5,500 people, because people love to learn. So for the person who was like, oh, I might get 50 people, I don't know why I doubted myself, but I might get 50 people. And then now I'm looking at the figures and I'm sending it to you guys. Oh my God, we've got 5,000. I think people, my friends must be fed up with me. I'm screenshotting and saying, we've got 1,500, we've got 2,000, we've got 3,000. Because to me, it's really important that people listen to this kind of journey, for people to listen to all three of you, because your journey is one that is really important. And thank you all for being here, motivating another one. Danny, have you put all your information in there? People want that book.
I have, yeah, I can put them in again.
You can say it loud because remember this is going on YouTube.
Okay, so you can get a copy of Lockdown Life there's 2 different places. One is Amazon. Now, it's all great feeding the big giants. I'm going to give you that one anyway, but I'm also going to give you a Black-owned company whereby you can actually get a signed copy as well, and I'll personally post it out. So Amazon link is www.tinyurl.com/Lockdown Life book. If you want to get it from Telson's, which is a Black-owned company, and I will personally ship it to you and sign it, the link is, I put it in here, I'm trying to remember what it is. Bear with me a second. It's there somewhere. I think it's www.tinyurl Telson's Lockdown Life Telson's. I'll find it and I'll put it back in again. But if you can, try and get it from the Black-owned company. It's better. The proceeds go to an organisation called Free Your Mind, set up by Natasha Benjamin, and it's an organisation that supports young people, children who are affected by domestic violence, which has only been recognised now by policy. And during the lockdown, the figures rose between 20 and 30%. Natasha also said they experienced a 900% increase in phone calls during that time, and that was the one thing. I know we focused a lot on vulnerable people who were of an elder generation, but you know, my heart really, I had a really difficult time just thinking about the children, you know, the children that I work with who are trapped at home, who sometimes going to school, that is their only solace. That's the only place that they get love during that day. And knowing that they're stuck at home in situations that were detrimental for them, I just had to donate some of the proceeds to that. So that's where the money goes to. If you get it from Telson's, more of that money will go to that company. If you get it from Amazon, it's great still, but more of the money will go to Amazon. I'll put both links up there as well for you.
Yes, you can. And because I know I have to end on time because these ladies are all busy. They're all going on other Zooms and things. So I'm on time today. Leonie, do you do workshops? Do you want people to contact you?
Yes, I do workshops.
Contact you.
Yes, you can contact me on www.psychologyforsuccess.co.uk, or if you go to www.leoniecampbelltherapy.co.uk, I put the link in the messages. You can contact me, you know, for therapy or coaching, as a lot of people do, and also you will find some links to some of the independent workshops. If you're part of an organisation, then you feel free to use the contact form, because I've been running wellbeing workshops on managing wellbeing through the lockdown since March. So I'll be more than happy to tailor-make something for your organisation. But if you want to be part of the independent workshops, then please have a look on the website, and we'll be able to give you some information about how to join. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And all the ladies, basically. Welcome, Janice Chesney. There's some people here that are really so nice when you see them. But Leonie has to run because she's she's starting the workshop. Say bye to everybody, Leonie.
Bye bye. Thank you very much, everyone. It's been wonderful speaking to you all.
You're welcome.
Bye.
And
bye.
Tendai, you're the Yvonne Cumberbatch. Welcome. Thank you for coming. I haven't seen you here before, but it's lovely to see your name pop up. Tell Tendai, how do people get in touch with you? Are you doing workshops? Just tell them about you.
Yeah, guys, as I said, I've manifested offices across London. Danny's come and visited my offices in the Shard. It's funny, actually, because I used to work there, got the sack, you know, so when I was at my lowest, and I thought, oh my gosh, I absolutely love my job, and I knew I was going to be back, and now I'm there running workshops, fishing board workshops, so, you know, located on 2 floors in the Shard, and helping people to manifest their dreams from really prestige offices overlooking the riverbanks, and also got offices in Vauxhall as well, so sometimes do rooftop offices. So to answer your question, yes, workshops in the Shard, in
And you
South
do it
London.
online because you've got a big audience here that are from the Caribbean.
Right. Okay. So yes, absolutely. So we do one-on-one workshops and online workshops as well. If you go to my website, which is, let me see what view I'm in so you guys can see. There you go. Yeah. So Quest for Success, the number 4.co.uk. And within there, you can either download my free template. That's what I suggest you do in the first instance, just so you can get an idea of what we do. Also got these workbooks, as Danny mentioned. Danny's purchase. It's nice when friends, you know, support your business and don't ask for things for free. So again, Danny, thank you so much. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. So I do these workbooks as well. That's on the website. And then, yeah, do one-on-one facing workshops online or offline, i.e. via the digital, via Zoom, etc. So yeah, they're the 3 different things you could do. Download your free template, get your workbook, which is on sale today until the end of today, and then it goes back to its original price, or book me for, you know, a consultation or workshop, you know, doing personal development and creating your vision board together.
Yeah. I just so love that idea. It was Danny's not only bought your book, she told me about you. And I think it's so important that we do that. You talk and do that. My friend Paul Lawrence, he has a show before me, and I'm always giving him sorry, you're slipping. I give him you know, ideas or comments, or I support his show because I'm learning. Remember, ladies, that everything you do, everything, just we're talking about, I talk about who's holding you back. And I'm a believer that the answer to that is always me. I used to say that, who's holding me back? And since I knew the answer to that, I started to do my vision board, and nothing's hold me back. If I wanted to travel, I can think of everything that I want to do and have done. The only thing I haven't done, and Daniela's looking at me because she knows what it is, the only thing that I haven't done is written my book. So
you notice I didn't say anything about it.
She didn't say anything. I just started scratching because I knew she's thinking it. But written my book. But what I did was got myself a sort of hold my hand type of person, somebody who I have to account myself to. And I designated 2 people, my son Darren, who gets on my nerves because he'll call me every day to say, so how much have you done? And I can't lie because at the end of the week I have to produce something. And then Keisha Davis, who's a journalist as well. And so in having to share with her what I've done, I've had to start doing it. So I don't really think I have many more on my tick box, because when that book comes out, you know I will be traveling. You know I'll be back there in England shouting and partying and doing what we do best. So that's my vision board. The whole vision board is my book because I've got the other bits locked down. So thank you, ladies, for joining me. It's Daniela again, my adopted daughter. And now you can join the gang. Tendai, thank you so much for today. I appreciate you, and I know that you have to go. So thank you, my ladies. You can go in on the thread and write your comments. So bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for having us, Jerry.
That's okay.
Thank you so much.
Every week, I appreciate you, and I thank you. So have a good day.